Welcome back, fellow historians, to our second lesson of Native Americans Myths and Legends. Our teaching point for today is historians learn about Iroquois culture by analyzing their myths and legends. For today's lesson, you're going to need a notebook, a pencil, and your investigating hat. So pause this video now to gather your materials and to copy down the teaching point. All right, here we go. So in our previous lesson, we learned a lot about Algonquin culture by analyzing some of their myths and legends. We also know that Native Americans had many different tribes and nations, and so we're going to see how each Native American tribe and nation had different beliefs and customs. So our focus today is going to be on Iroquois culture, and we're going to analyze one of their myths or one of their legends. As always, when we are looking at an oral tradition, we have to figure out whether or not it is a myth or legend, because myths and legends reveal different things about a culture. A myth is a story about how or why something came to be. The purpose of a myth is to explain a natural phenomenon, an origin of something that happens in nature. Main characters are supernatural beings, gods or demigods, mythical creatures, and in myths you're going to find that animals are able to communicate with human beings and supernatural beings. Legends are stories about real people, places, and events in the past, but they're often exaggerated. We know that legends have elements of truth, but also parts of the legend are exaggerated or false. The purpose of a legend is to retell a historical event, and the main characters are people, usually historical people, real events, and places. But they are unauthenticated. That means parts of the legend cannot be proven true. And sometimes they include miracles or magic. So for today's lesson, we're going to take a look at an Iroquois oral tradition. It's called the Haudenosaunee founding, and this word Haudenosaunee is another word for Iroquois. It means the people who build the long houses. When we're looking at or analyzing this oral tradition, we're going to think about what the theme is, and one strategy we're going to use to help us develop an idea about the theme is to focus on the main issue that the character faces, how he responds to that issue, and what the character learns from this, or what is the lesson of the story. And from that, we're going to make an inference and think about what we can learn about Iroquois culture. All right, so do you have your notebooks and your pen or pencil ready? We're going to listen to this Iroquois oral tradition, and I want you to take notes of what elements do you see and what the theme is, okay?
The story recorded in this bell tells of a warrior named Hiawatha who meets a prophet known as the Peacemaker.
Hiawatha ta hajerante ne tini hadi ronushoni tu mosugorihonyo. Nekti tik na hoyata wane ne Hiawatha. Akwegu sabuya ogumpa ya gunihe ya te. Kadohtar ho wasagorya ti wasaguta anarho. Tironi gun kwatara atakto che wahato jungun Hiawatha. Tiwa kundiche ne zora wa kundi ne kagetsko tanu wa ogoda ne tikano wa gumsuga geronyo ne garaka ta barere.
The story goes that he came up with a way of helping a person who is in grief by using this wampum to clear their eyes, open their ears, clear their throat so they could speak clearly.
Using the purity of shells to bring a person to a clear state of mind is called the condolence ceremony. It was invented by Hiawatha, and the Haudenosaunee still practice it today.
Hiawatha no Haudenosaunee to humja taroro ge nero dienersu. Oni yote aga kayo ko haga kanyo ke haga tano so dinu doane aga. Skanagara seratsu mahni goeni ne asabodi ni gohra goi nuni tano skat ahati tahayo. Nekti skanagara sera yate hona tundatu ahumja tara. Oni da ke haga. Onda mai wata ya hona rotta se ne rungwe sagorio saguya ugun a. Rot kunzeraksu tadu taro. Ne amha to sats no serawana ne tiu hunzate.
He was a sorcerer. He had supernatural powers. He could communicate with birds and rattlesnakes and wolves and the animal world, and they would help him. He was a mean man. His name was Tarudahu.
To convince Tadadaho to join the new confederacy, Hiawatha and the peacemakers seek a powerful ally. A woman named Jagonsase.
Jigagonsase was the first clan mother. She helped bring peace to the Iroquois, to the Haudenosaunee.
The peacemaker strikes a deal with her. If she can stop the war, she can choose the chiefs.
Jigumsase wa kumadia daniyandago ohnire sumaran kwizerake. Oneki wa hagwini hari hoyena neskona. Jigumsase wa tumana garara. Tira di hantu ne agweguro di enersu diruna jataror, o hantu wa tumataste.
Jagonsase transforms Tadadaho's mind and he abandons war. With the final obstacle overcome, the peacemaker assembles representatives of each nation.
Sadia tatsuru di enersu da hadiho ne onigora. So dinindawane aga, kayo haga, onendake haga, oniyote aga, tanu kanyoke haga. Etorne giro no shunido wataji ne tararo ne onigorha sum anegaswanta aronyate.
Under a total eclipse of the sun, the peacemaker holds the newly woven Hiawatha belt, and with the nations gathered beneath the tree of peace, he speaks the law of peace for the first time.
Wano totako ng hat kanotes to nerota se goa. Ti Josué aguego yung kwadario stako yung guadi. Luwe ang tito wano dote ne to nerota se goa da no tonon to meti wa guadi wayena na gainere goa. Ti wari ho wanata ji ang tawat ka wa ji yung kwadario ne wes ni yung jumzake. Skåne og Govagetina etter Waderun eller produksjonen.
All right, guys. So that was the Haudenosaunee's founding. Some elements that I took note of is that the main character is a human being named Hiawatha, and it explains how the Iroquois nation was founded. So it's a retelling of a historical event. There was some magic in the story, but I know that legends have some magic. So I think that the Haudenosaunee founding is a legend of how the Iroquois nation began. So let's take a look at what the theme is. I know that the main issue that Hiawatha faced was that he lost his daughter because his nation was fighting against the other 4 nations. So how did he choose to respond to the issue? Rather than taking revenge, he was enlightened by the prophet Peacemaker, and he decided to bring peace to all of the nations by unifying them. What does the character learn from this? I think that he learned that peace and comes from unity. So I'm thinking that the theme is that there is peace and strength in unity. Now, I'm going to take the theme, there's peace can only be achieved through unity, and I'm going to think about what I can learn about the Iroquois culture. What are some things that they value? I know that value means important, so what is it? What do they find important? So from the theme, I know that Iroquois culture, they highly value unity and cooperation, as well as being peaceable people. So now it is your turn. It's investigation time. You're going to closely read a story using the fiction lens. You're going to study the elements and find the theme. And you're going to ask yourself, what does it teach you about the Iroquois culture? Now, the second part of the assignment is to rewatch the video, Haudenosaunee founding, and I want you to think about what are some customs that you see in the video that is still being practiced today that's part of the Iroquois culture. Then you're going to make a connection and you're going to answer the question using both the text and the video. And the question again is, what does this teach you about Iroquois culture? So I hope you guys enjoyed this lesson, and I hope you guys are able to continue to explore Iroquois culture through their myths and legends. And I will see you next time.